you want to see me break a chisel? I don't know why pattern makers need long chisels, but I have two pattern makers chisels, one beveled and the other more sort of mortise chisel like, and I'm going to try bending them. Now, I'm not promising to break these chisels because I'm forward introducing this video. I don't know how this is going to go, but what I want to create is a cranked chisel. I want to put a bend in the chisel. I'm going to try and bend this one here. And the point of putting a bend in a chisel is then you can use it for paring and the handle doesn't get in the way because the handle is lifted away from the surface of the work. Now, the other chisel is slightly wider, but still I think about the same amount of metal. This is a beveled chisel, and I'm going to try and put a curve in the front. Now, I'm going to try and bend this one cold because I'm going to try and curve it here. But the other one, I'm going to try and bend hot. I'm going to heat it about here. And I'm assured that A, I don't have to get this red hot in order to make the bending easier. And I'm assured that just heating it here is not going to affect the hardness of the tip. I wonder whether I'm going to end up burning the handle. We'll see. I'm going to be using clamps and a vise, and hopefully they'll act as heat sinks and and take all the heat away from the area I'm trying to bend. But we'll see how I get on. Obviously, I've never tried this before. I've got no idea how this is going to work. In my head, I've got me breaking, particularly this chisel, but we'll see how it goes. So come with me on this little journey. As with all the things I do, a jig is involved. All this is here, this pile of scraps, is I want a reference point here so that when I mount my chisel in the vise, I've got a reference point so I know how far I've bent it, because I want to just put a few little very small bends and then just inch my way, well, millimetre my way along the chisel and hopefully put a bit of a curve in it. I don't need much of a curve, I just need enough to get the handle out of the way. And also, I don't want to put more of a curve in it than the bevel on the end of the chisel, because if it bends too far the other way, this could be tricky to sharpen. So I've got about a millimetre gap at the top here, and well, shall I just go straight in and try this? I'm going to clamp this on here so that I'm hopefully only bending the bottom of the chisel, because I think if I grab the whole thing I'm just going to put a bend in the entire thing, which might not be a bad thing, but let's see what happens if I just do this, get a measure of how difficult this is going to be. I probably ought to keep my hands away from this just in case it does actually break. That just seems to be springing back. Has it bent? I don't think that's bent at all. Maybe that has. Obviously I'm getting it a couple of centimetres away from the end of the stock, but it just seems to be coming straight back again. I wonder if I'm in danger of breaking my G-clamp on my bench. I might have got half a millimetre in that. I guess if I just continually bounce it, I'm going to put metal fatigue cracks in it. I think I've managed to put maybe half a millimetre in that. Let's have a look at it. There is actually a very, very slight bend. You probably can't see that, but the tip does seem to just bend away very slightly at the tip. So we'll carry on going and see where this gets us. I'm going to put gloves on. I'm a bit nervous about this breaking. Whether or not that's a realistic fear, I don't know. Right, let's give it another go. I think I'm going to break the clamp, you know. Okay, let's try it without the clamp. Yep, I think that has bent. I've probably got 0.5 millimetre of bend in that. It's come away from the end of the wood. This is assuming nothing else has moved, of course. Okay, I'm an idiot. One of the rules of filming workshop videos, particularly when you're doing something like this, is you've got to keep the camera rolling. And I am sweating. I was repositioning the camera to show you the gap, and it seemed that the gap had closed up. I suspect what was happening is perhaps the mounting, the bench or something, the wood, I don't know, something else was flexing and it was gradually closing up again. I'm not sure I was putting any sort of bend in this at all. And just as I was about to hit record, I thought, well, let's just put the bend back into it and see whether we film it closing up. And the camera wasn't running when I did exactly what I've just been doing, but I was kind of pumping it, if you like, which might not have been the way to do it, and it broke. I was wearing glasses, by the way. I've only got the end bits. The middle bit, I don't know where it's gone. It's actually broken into 3. I'm sure I'll find it at some point, but it pinged off somewhere in the distance. So, sorry about that. I'm sure you would have all enjoyed seeing a chisel break. It went with a sharp ping, and the piece just flew off. And there was no danger to me. I was wearing gloves, and well, I say no danger to me. I don't know what happened to the piece that flew off, but at least my eyes were protected. So on with the second chisel. Time to get the blowtorch out. I wonder if this is going to be one of those videos where nothing actually happens. Well, apart from me breaking a chisel. Sorry you didn't get to see it break. Just one thought, somebody out there can maybe shed some light on this. This looks like a casting. There seems to be a crystalline structure to this. And I know for a fact you're unlikely to be able to bend castings. Now, are chisels forged? Will this one be forged and will I have more of a chance of bending it? Even if I heat it, I'm guessing if this is a casting I might have problems. See what happens. That is a cranked chisel, and I think that will do. Should I try to put any more in it? I would like a slightly bigger bend. Let's go again. Is that enough? I think that is enough, and we haven't gone so far as to make it awkward to sharpen it. Oh, should I go a little bit further? I'm going to go a little bit further. Famous last words. Happy. That's it. That's what I want. This is a minute or two after the fact, but I think it's a pretty good sign that I'm able to touch the tip. I'm not even going to try and touch that area. I can feel the heat from here, but the tip is relatively cool. So I think we're perfectly safe in terms of keeping that tip nice and hard. What we've ended up with is an angle of 20 degrees, which I think is enough. Well, that will do nicely, thank you. And I still haven't found the middle section. You win some, you lose some. I've got the result I wanted, but it would have been nice to have two chisels and have a curved one for paring away at curves. But this will do for now. And who knows, maybe I'll go out and buy one. Ooh. This is a much cheaper route. I can't find paring chisels locally, so my only option, buying in the second-hand shops, is this method. And this only cost me a £5, so it's not the greatest of losses. Maybe somebody can tell me whether this one is likely to have been cast and whether this one is forged. If I can get a forged one, another one, maybe I could try putting a bend in the tip. Although, of course, the tip is probably hardened, and I'm probably going to have the same problems even with a forged chisel. I don't know. I'm probably going to be happy with this for now. So, yeah. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye. I found the middle section.